my phone on at the same time as my phone, so it won't record at night. I don't get it. Why is that? This is a stupid problem to have. Normal, beam, blush, pop, crush, glow, slate, noel, dawn, bubbles, dance party, dream, glamour. None of these are options for the fuck can I use as a eight of them folks who fucking needed one. I fucking buried a couple in here somewhere. Just now, how do I back out of that? See, I'm trying to show you something. I had to take a bunch of garbage out of my vehicle to fuck it. God damn it. So of course, there's right there you can't see because it's dark. Yay! And of course, there's all that stuff in the back and all this right here. I had to put all of my stuff all across the top of there and across there, and yeah, it's so what I threw outside of my vehicle is primarily just garbage and my backpack, and of course with it being dark, I mean, here, I'm holding the bag right up to it. I'm shaking the bag so you can hear it. I mean, it's obviously a plastic bag. But that's what my garbage is going into. But I had to unbury that so that I could unbury this. I knew this was in here. I've been looking for this thing for probably about 2 weeks. It plugs into down there into the outlet for the cigarettes. I'm sure you all know what it is. But I got 7% battery on that charger, and this one out of 4 bars, it's got 1. So, I mean, at least I'm charging up more than one thing at once. It costs a lot of money because, I mean, a lot of this stuff I've had to buy in places emergency like. So, you know, a lot of these might have cost $2 or $3 at Wally World, but of course I was nowhere near Wally World. I spent $26. One of the truck stops that I was at, I didn't have a charger at all. All of the charger cords were fried. You know, there was not squat I could do. I had to spend $26 on the cheapest one they had was the Energizer friggin' dual charge something or other doohickey, and that gets expensive. And things that were not my choice and not my fault. Things that happened because the system is corrupt and because they didn't come forward. They didn't come forward. They didn't come forward. I want to say that one more time for y'all. They didn't come forward. Dan Faber, in those messages between myself, what was it, yesterday or day before yesterday, those messages, you know, obviously there's 5 people in that message string. One of them's Polar Bear, and I got his name. It's Justin. Fuck, what's his last name? Justin something or other. Then we got, and he's just right across the border in Washington State. There's also Marcia Estrada, and there's also Megan Mistigatis. I was not going to have Megan Mistigatis pretending that I didn't say nothing this time. There's no way. You know what? Between recording her and putting it in for safekeeping, just in case she might possibly actually speak up in the future, there needed to be a proper way and proper channels to do this, and I try to do the proper channels solo. I get nowhere. I'm told that I have all these people helping me that aren't actually helping me. I'm doing what they want because they're not going to help me with what they're supposed to do something about, that they're paid to do those things for. Megan Mistigatis ain't paid for that. She did Jen Beebe's job, but Jen Beebe got paid for doing it. Jen Beebe was literally court ordered to do that job. That's right. They court ordered Jen Beebe to do that job. And what happened? They didn't just court order Jen Beebe. They also court ordered Nicole Peralta. Court ordered. Ordered by the courts. As in fucking mandatory. Mandatory to do that fucking job. Judge says you have to. The judge said that you had to. And what did Nicole Peralta and Jen Beebe do 6 months after that? What the fuck? You know, and then I'm having to go to not Marcia Estrada. Marcia Estrada wasn't until after prison. Before that, I had to go through Meg Misigatis, and she was absolutely trying a bunch of stuff, you know. And the best part about that, I mean, I get treated like I'm a liar. When she went through it with me, she could speak up about it then. She could advocate about that actual experience. Advocate. What did Dual County Sheriff's Department pretend that she was? An advocate. What did they pretend like she's supposed to do? What an advocate's supposed to do by Nebraska law. Penny Cooper don't have the excuse that she does, though. Because, see, here's the thing. Penny Cooper is not a volunteer. She doesn't get to play that card like Megan Misigatis does. But these people aren't helping. Penny Cooper wasn't interested in helping. She was interested in, well, first of all, getting Megan Misigatis completely out of the fucking picture. By the way, this drink has been sitting in here for over a month. I noticed there's no floaties in it, so it might be okay. Meanwhile, the battery in here is way too big to fit in underneath my hood, but, well, I'm pretty good at fucking Tetris, so I made it fit. Why did I buy a battery that is way too big to fit in my car? Because it was almost $100 less than the other one. Almost $100 less than a battery twice its size with half the warranty. I don't get it. So, of course, my battery that's in my car, it is literally sitting on top of my starter. My starter is holding my battery in place. My battery is not where a battery is supposed to be. It's right on top of the starter. This plastic thing getting all fucking hot. When you can't fucking afford shit, yeah, you gotta fucking do what you gotta do. You got to try to fucking cut corners where you can. If you're gonna fucking ask people to help you, you gotta pay them a decent fucking wage. If you're not willing to pay them $20 an hour, they're probably gonna turn you down. If you're gonna offer people $20 an hour to fucking look at something, you gotta be able to pay them $20 an hour. Now, one of the great things about paying someone $20 an hour is that you're paying them a wage. They're there to work. If they don't work, you still got to pay them for the time that they spent. That's required. Yeah, my sister and her friends spent time there. They pretty well fucked me over as much as a person could possibly fuck somebody over. Well, they didn't fuck me over worse than Candace Bondurant. And you know what? If Tara didn't take her medications that morning and that had stuff to do with it, well, you know what? I could do what you guys do to me and say, well, it doesn't matter, does it, actually? It doesn't matter what you say. That's my little sister. I do love her. I love my little sister as much as I love my older brother. I love my little sister as much as I love Alicia Bollinger. I love my little sister almost as much as I love my niece. Almost. You know what? If my sister never had any kids, well, yes, I would probably love my sister above all else, except for the boy. It's not that I love these kids that I don't fucking know more than I love their parents that I've known for 20 years. It's the children come first. They always come first. They may not come first to all these parents, but they've always come first to me. Their safety has always been my first priority. When I was shoved into a fucked up situation with Rihanna, like she was going to help me. And then all of a sudden, there's a situation with these two fucking brat kids. And of course, they're going to be brats. You know what? When you ship me around growing up from one place to another, and fucking half those places I'm being abused, there was one place I was being abused by the mother. She was just smacking me. It wasn't anything major or big deal. Nothing like, it's not like it was the worst of the worst by any means. It was open handed and it was smacking me across the face or across the back or across the backside. And the guy that was with her, he's like, you know what? I don't think that's right. But if you don't stand up to her, she's just gonna keep on doing it. This is the lady's husband who's telling me this. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? You're telling me I gotta stand up to a foster parent? No, you stand up to a foster parent, they can tell any story they want, you're in trouble. I mean, that really seemed to me at that point in time that he was trying to goat me into doing something stupid. But you know what else? I remember him telling me that if I tried to tell on her that he was going to help me. They took me out of there the next day. I didn't tell on her. I didn't tell him that I was going to tell on her because at that point in time I was a mewling fucking crying rag. But they came and picked me up the next day and they took me to another foster home. Whether they took me the next day because my 2 weeks is up, temporary foster homes in Colorado, 2 weeks at a time. That's how it was in Colorado. The reason that they didn't put me in long-term care into a long-term foster home, maybe a decent one, is because my mom was supposed to come get me every weekend. Every single weekend, I'm getting told by these people, hey, man, your mom's going to come get you this weekend. Hey, guess what? Your mom's almost going to be able to have you. Hey, your mom's going to get custody of you on Friday. She's got court. And on Saturday or Sunday, we're going to coordinate and she's going to come and pick you up. And they just kept on doing this. So whether he actually turned in his wife for fucking smacking the shit out of me, she wasn't punching me. It was the 1980s. You were allowed to flat hand people. Someone calling themselves Girl on Internet typed, are you a victim of gang stalking? Yes, I am. But also, I'm still dealing with it, and it's not just gang stalking on the internet, it's gang stalking in real life. The cops, if they come by here tonight and they see all of my trash out here outside of the vehicle, they might harass me about littering, but you know what? Almost half the trash that's in this almost half the trash that is in this bag came out of this parking lot. Half of the trash that's in this bag, or maybe half the trash that's in the other bag, I'm not sure which one. But Logan and Shayna, they'd pile the garbage up right there. That's where they'd pile it up. They would go collect it, and they would pile it up in a nice little pile there, and I'd come pick it up. I'd put it in my bag. I didn't touch beer bottles because I knew that I was going to be putting that garbage in my vehicle, So, course, my vehicle's warming up. I'm afraid of my battery melting. I'm needing to have my batteries charged up for my external batteries for my telephone. I'm trying to pass the time while that's going on because, I mean, I don't understand why you guys allow these things. Sure, the law says that it's illegal, but it's only illegal if you give a shit. If you believe everything you're fucking told, you're an idiot. These cops lie to you, and as long as you don't know your rights, they're allowed to do that. But if they can call you mentally ill, it doesn't matter that you know your rights. They can make it your word versus theirs by calling you mentally ill. Now you can tell me, oh, well, as long as you know your rights, it does. No. It didn't matter that I knew my rights because they can call me mentally ill and make it their word versus mine. They're not going to look at it. They're not going to investigate it. Maybe if I had a nice car, looked like I had some money in my fucking pocket, it might be different, but they know I'm broke. They admitted that I have to, or at least that's what they told me tonight. When I say they, I mean they as in the department, because I can't remember their individual names, and obviously all three of them, as they were doing their thing, were all three supporting one another in their actions, including all three talking over me at once. These are things that these guys are showing me 100% that they are taught what not to do when it comes to somebody who is special needs. Those of you who want to say that Elon Musk is not special needs, you guys understand that special needs, that's kind of like the mentally ill thing. Kinda. You know, they're using special needs to try to claim that this dude who has been to outer space, and these guys want to pretend that he's a retard. He's smarter than these dudes by a fucking lot. But stupid people are always self-assured that they're stupid, like Hood River Police Department. Oh, sex lights. They must be pulling somebody over for something fucking stupid. Jesus Christ, these guys are bored. And of course, I can't call 911 to try to turn them in, even though it is an emergency. It's been an emergency for 4 months. How long are they going to allow this to progress and advance before it turns into a situation where someone is dead? How long is Hood River going to ignore a situation that they started? Me and that old man were decently getting along, and with him being a racist a-hole, I just avoided him. That wasn't a problem prior to that. It was easy to just ignore him. Now, I was trying to be nice to the guy, and I absolutely needed help, and maybe he knew something about the resources around here, and he does. And it's not like I'm not going to give officers here, or even that racist old fucker, kudos for what they actually did. He actually told me about the Center for Living. Of course, the cops are already taking me there. Now, of course, then there's the cops tonight, and they want to say that they're not equipped, blah, 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 that the Center for Living. No, shut the fuck up, bitch. I'm trying to turn in you and your fucking officers, and you're over here fucking intimidating me and telling me that I got to take that to the Center for Living? No, the Center for Living fucking did the same goddamn thing you did. They fucking blew me off, told me it's not their job. They did the same thing that, of course, Penny Cooper wanted me to do there in fucking Nebraska. The same thing that Jen Beebe wanted. The same thing with Kara Heller and Jeff Ritter in Colorado. I filled out their paperwork. Does that paperwork get me the help I need? No, that's their fucking billing acceptance. They want to take your taxpayer dollars But they don't want to actually do their jobs as mandated reporters. These people didn't understand how much hell I'd actually been through. I've got it documented for years on my fucking YouTube. And then, of course, I got it running through my head. There's all of these people that I am fucking scared shitless for, that I said that I would help, and I haven't been able to keep my word. And I'm not going to be able to, and I have to let them know. And you know what? I can't keep my word to help them because they didn't speak up. And without them speaking up, I don't have the means or the ability. Yeah, I want to help to keep you and your family safe from those predators. I do, Chelsea. I'm sorry, Chelsea Aiken. It's not your fault. I'm putting your first and last name up here so that hopefully somebody gets the word to you just in case something happens to me. It's not your fault that I'm not going to make it there. At the same time, if you'd spoken up, could have made a difference, and maybe I'd be able to. All of you who I rescued before Natalie was killed, who didn't come forward, you know what? You didn't come forward. That's not my fault. When you want to throw stuff in my face that other people claimed, prove it. You can prove I'm an asshole. That absolutely 100%. My loved ones are fucking dead. No, I'm not going to be fucking nice about it. Every time I tried to be nice about it, people blow me off. And then when I'm a fucking asshole, because they've been fucking lying to me for months on end, and then they say, well, prove it. Holy shit. Tomorrow at the library. Thank goodness for one important detail. In here, I don't know what. I'll just let them pick something and say, hey, if you help me to fill this out electronically so I can turn these things in online, I'll let you pick something out of my car that's not evidence. Even if it's something that's meant to save my life, there's plenty of life-saving extras. You know, the security guard, Cody, at the hospital here, nice guy. Him and the nurse were trying to explain to me that I gotta play the system. That they both think that it sucks. And they wanted to explain to me about the shit. They call it something different here than they call it everywhere else. It's basically a mental health hold or suicide watch or something like that. When you say you're being bullied to the point that you want your life to end, and you have to explain to them, I'm literally not trying to kill myself. I'm not. There's a big difference between wanting your life to end and trying to end it. And I have tried to end it on multiple occasions over abuse, over neglect, over people, the people that are supposed to care, the people who are literally paid to care. Don't. That's something I've learned. You can't pay somebody enough to give a shit. Now let me tell you something about Mandy Singer. That lady is fucking badass. Yeah, she's a fuck up. So am I, so are you. When you say we all got problems, that's right, we all got problems. But that's a horrible excuse for looking away. You know why we all got problems? Because you say mind your business. When it happens to somebody else, it ain't your business, is it? When it happens to you, because you minded your business when they did it to everybody else, then you want fucking help, don't you? People are typing. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It'll pop a whole bunch of things up at once and then stop and then do it again. Girl on internet typed, I am so sorry to hear that. They glow. You sound good, bro. Ending it is not the answer. RM the Cahooligan, you sound good, bro. You should make it through Tuesday, bro. And then Crybaby Chris banged Rosie and Tosh. That's his name on the fucking internet. We gotta screen this. This guy has already made 3 accounts tonight. Well, I'm making that assumption based on the length of it and what it says. Maybe that's a bad assumption, but I am waiting for him to start typing up 666 and a bunch of stuff about it. Yup, Ativan. How did I fucking guess it? Oh my god. Jesus fucking Christ. See? If you can't make this shit up. Well, you can, but obviously I didn't. It's right here. Of course, how is this not predictable, especially given this person making multiple accounts for literally years? And then there's MRRM and the Cahooligan. That's suspect. Hey, MRRM, the Cahooligan, I want to thank you for actually coming on here and not being a fucking hooligan. Thank you for that. Thank you for coming on here with proper respect. What's my opinion on abortion? My opinion on abortion is that my mother should have swallowed me. Next question. She should have swallowed my brother too. And the best part of my little brother probably dribbled down her leg. That's my thoughts on abortion. You want to know my thoughts on abortion in Nebraska? Well, you might get knocked up by your dad. You might get knocked up by your brother or your uncle. And that's not just Nebraska, that's also Colorado. I mean, Natalie Bollinger, what are the chances that she was obviously ovulating? She was of age that she would have been ovulating while her dad was sticking his nasty cock in her. That's my thoughts on abortion. MRRM, the Cahooligan, just couldn't stop himself, could he? Sure, bro. Yeah, Manchester United, go Broncos! The Avalanche are going to win the Stanley Cup. Oh shit, see there, now I just acknowledged that I do know that the Stanley Cup is hockey, whereas most of the time I try to pretend that I don't understand sports. I understand them. I know each sport's what, I just don't give a shit. I mean, between Mobley breaking his neck and who won the fucking Super Bowl last year, I don't know who won the Super Bowl, I don't give a shit. Mobley's dead, I'll never get to see him again. There were 4 years between the situation in Virginia and when he fucking died. Sorry, 5 years. Almost 6 between the situation in Virginia and when Mobley broke his fucking neck. 6 years of me not getting to see somebody that I love. Now don't get me wrong, I did get to see him twice. Once before Natalie died, and he blew me off. Once after Natalie died, and he was all fucked up in the head because somebody was fucking chasing him. I mean, holy shit, what was going through my head is, he's seeing meth shadows. Christine thought he might have been on meth too, but yeah, he's not a meth head, he doesn't use meth. Hallucinogens, yeah, probably, that's a given. He's also trained as an EMT. I'm not sure if I would trust an EMT who's tripping on DMT. If you know what I'm saying. Talking to cops alone by yourself is scary, especially when you got to turn in cops because they're all on the same side. Especially when you have to go alone, because they're all on the same side. Especially when you're told you got to go to the very department that you're trying to turn in, and they're co-workers. There's 7 cops in this town, I believe. I know that I read it the other day. I know that in Chapel, Nebraska, there's 7 cops at one time. This place got about 2,000 people. Chapel, Nebraska got about 500. Is there more crime in Chapel, Nebraska? Yeah, well, no. No, these cops got to be turning down a lot of fucking crimes. There's already people in town who are voicing their opinions about their being pissed off at the Hood River Police Department. But at least they're nice. Logan was honest about the fact that that man wasn't literally threatening to bash their skulls in with rocks. But, you know, the way that he was talking, yeah, it was kind of fucking, it was really scary. It was scary enough that I, who have dealt with a lot of people like that, yes, I knew that that was probably about the time that I should be starting to record, and I fucking did. Absolutely. I mean, especially since I'd already had police walk up on me with their hands on their guns, and thank goodness for the lady at the Astro. And I did give the cops her name, and I probably shouldn't have, because, you know, what are the chances that they'll go harass her? Well, they're not that great. Chances are pretty good. They'll just not bother. Pretend it didn't happen, pretend I didn't say it, whatever. They claim that it was a recording, but unlike the ones in Nebraska, they don't have a thing on there, the indicator lights, to show that it's on, so you just have to take their word for it. Meanwhile, one of the people that I called said that it takes an act of God to get it back. The officer tonight said that it's going to cost money to get it back. Now, what happens if I go in there with money? Of course, I don't have any. But if I went in there with money to buy that evidence from them, well, what are the chances that it still wouldn't take an act of fucking God? What's to say they wouldn't play the whole game that other departments did, where, oh, well, we'll send it to you in the mail. You'll get it in 3 to 6 weeks. Does it show up in 3 to 6 weeks? No, it doesn't. Am I verbally abusive? Absolutely. Are you guys verbally abusive? Absolutely. But I'm abusive about the right shit. Human trafficking ain't a fucking joke, and these cops here aren't taking it seriously. They said they have somebody who deals specifically with human trafficking, and he's supposed to get a hold of me tomorrow, so I'm supposed to hold tight. They told me that yesterday or the day before. So I'm being patient. I'm waiting for that. I mean, I'm literally posting up all the shit that I have ever done wrong. Of course it's wrong. Of course it is absolutely wrong. That's why I contacted people. Hey, I don't want to do this. Are you fucking kidding me? Do I have to? Are you going to make me threaten my predators back? Is that what you're going to do? It's okay for these people to threaten my life. I'm just being a pussy. But if I threaten them back, I'm the fucking devil? You're going to tell me that that's equality? No, that's not fucking equality. I try to get help before Natalie fucking was killed for an entire year. My friends and my family, well, what do? They treat me like shit until I want my life to fucking end. They want me to jump through all of their hoops. Brenda Dickinson wanted me to jump through hers. Tamara was the only one who knew what the fuck was going on. She was the only one sober enough to fucking do so. None of my friends were sober enough. I mean, Tamara was probably about the best friend I could have had. No, she wasn't my friend. But God damn it, she was the closest I could say that I had at that point in time. I mean, this is a woman who actually cared about me. She cared to make sure that I got at least part of those things before she quit. She made sure that the paperwork was done. The stuff that, and she did that on her own personal time. Do you know why? Because when she was quitting her job, she didn't have a lot of time. She wanted to make sure that she got her son to a safe place where this stuff wouldn't happen to him. And I need you to understand, this is almost a full year before Natalie was killed. I mean, I want to say Tamara quit in April or May. She wasn't there very long. And she fought harder than any of these people since have. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to downplay the things that Meg Missigatis did. I'm not going to downplay that. But when did she do those things? When did she try? When did she speak up? Was I forced to put it on the internet, or did she actually advocate? An advocate, when you're being abused and you go to your advocate, they're supposed to help you to turn this stuff into APS. But they can't do it from fucking all the way in goddamn Lincoln when I need help because of my disabilities with this fucking computer shit, and you're gonna make me do it by myself, knowing that I fucking can't. The cops are insistent. I have to go to Meg. I have to go to Meg. I'm telling Meg, I will literally drive to Lincoln. I will go to Lincoln. If you can find me a home in Lincoln, I'll stay in Lincoln. If you will look at the evidence in person, if I come to Lincoln, I will go to Lincoln. But Megan Missigatis, not having a physical address for her, it's difficult to get a fucking subpoena. Well, I need to subpoena her for multiple situations, like the situation when I was in the prison. We need to subpoena the phone records. We need to subpoena all of that. Did they tell the truth? Or did you, Meg? This is a no fucking brainer. Were the cops dishonest, or were you, Meg? Because your stories don't fucking line up. And they sure as hell don't line up with the evidence. How the hell is an advocate in Lincoln gonna do me any goddamn good? Sure, we jumped through all of those fucking hoops. All of them. And I'm not going to pretend that she didn't jump through those hoops to help me with the driver's license and all that other shit. 4 months. That's right. She admitted it. 4 months it took to make that happen. Is that my fault? No, it's not. In all these situations, I went to who I was supposed to, who I was told to. It was nobody's job, nobody's job, nobody's job. Pass the buck, pass the buck, pass the buck. You can hear in a lot of these people's voices that, yeah, you know, maybe they fucking do care. They actually do care, but they're too fucking drunk. The conversation with Sarah Nelson, you know, she's just as drunk, if not more drunk, than all the rest of them. I'm not a bad person for saying it. It's the truth. Of course, it's pretty obvious that between actually ever coming forward, because, I mean, that's the sixth, one of the, I think that's actually the fourth or the fifth recording with her, because I have 2 more that I have on my clandestine recording device that I downloaded on that computer that don't hardly work just since I've been here in Portland. And again, with the same stuff, with the violence and the drunkenness. So, of course, with me keeping my vehicle on this long, I gotta get out and I gotta pick up that garbage. You know, it's kind of counterproductive to go pick all the garbage up out of the parking lot and then dump it all out all over the parking lot. But in my defense, I had to dig this shit out. I had to dig out the charger. I had to make room. it's not appropriate to make me go to those cops after what they did, especially when they're full tilt. If you don't know what that is, you know what? These are a bunch of Don Quixotes, and I am their fucking windmill. Grinding in circles, trying to make people give a shit. Round and round I go. Yep. It's fine as long as you're not the fucking jackass getting fucking knocked over by some asshole on a fucking donkey. A windmill can't get out of the way. A windmill is an inanimate object that's not going to feel it. Good for the windmill. Not so good for Don Quixote. I sit here and I wish I had an actual friend instead of just pretty words. Ah, people are typing still. Sure, bro. I gotta make sure that I do what it is that I've done already twice today with Mr. Adavan bullshit. Put user in time. No, that's not what I meant to do. What I meant is hide user on this channel. Alright. Anyway, you know, the humane thing to do would have been to kill me. I begged people to either help me or kill me before Natalie was ever killed. I don't know what's going on with that. Apparently there's some more typing that I missed maybe. It's a little down arrow, but it's not. Fuck it. Alright. Yeah, I guess the last question that I got from anybody was on abortion. Is the Catholic Church going to take care of these children? Or are they just going to petition to force them into the world? I mean, if you want to say that abortion should be 100% illegal, then you, for voting for that, should have to take on the responsibility of those children. A 16-year-old girl can't adopt a child because she's not responsible enough. But of course, if her dad rapes her and now she's pregnant, she's expected to be responsible for that child. You know, there's a lot of cases of incest where they make the girl have a kid. That's sad. It's sad for that kid. It is horrible to bring a kid in this world as it is. Oh, those of you who are in upper middle class white families, I get that you don't agree. I don't give a fuck. Alright? I'm not fucking pampered with a fucking silver stick up my ass. If I had been born with a silver stick up my ass like you, I'd be as fucking ignorant as you are about the way that the world really fucking works. You want to tell me how it is, but you have the resources. How it is for you is not the same as it is for me. How it is for Donald Trump is not the same way as it is for one of those motherfuckers working 14 hours in a Tennessee fucking coal mine. Not the same fucking people. not cut from the same cloth. Donald Trump is not working class. He's manipulator class. He's buy people off class. He's child molester class. He's appoint his child molester buddies to a cabinet class. He appeals to rednecks who fuck their own kids. That's how I feel about abortion. I hope you enjoyed it. Now let's see how charged up we are on these things. This one's 34% charged. This one is still only 1 dot. And my phone, it was literally dead, is now at 23%. It was up to 23% earlier, wasn't it? Let's see, photos, seejusticeprevail@gmail.com. Move 30 photos to archive, clean up your photos, view by archiving. Oh, fuck, I do that probably twice, 3 times a week at least. Try to archive it under See Justice Prevail. That's the email account that I got the See Justice Prevail. And this is meant more as this one right here. This is my private. This is my personal YouTube. This is for me to speak about the things that are going on with me and to help to show the truth, to show the way that it really is, to tell other people's stories, to show that it's not just me, and for each of these people to show that it's not just them. See Justice Prevail, that YouTube channel is specifically for helping to find missing children, and I'm currently locked out of it. The reason I'm locked out of it is because, well, when I was incarcerated, apparently all that stuff got reset due to, I don't know if it's due to inactivity or if the fucking sheriff went in and signed me out of everything. I don't know. You know, I can't tell you precisely. We got to ask the people with the algorithms. We got to ask the people who design that shit. Of course, if you ain't got the money to pay those witnesses, and yes, it is paying witnesses. That's exactly what you're doing. Were you compensated for showing up? Well, you know what? If you're going to a psychiatrist, they are compensated. They're compensated for your visit. They're compensated when it's somebody like me who has to do the Medicare or Medicaid or Medica something or other. You know, if you're somebody like me, it's a bunch of shit that there's no sense explaining it to rich people, and the poor people already know. If you ain't got no money, you ain't got no rights. You know, like that list of criteria for what, according to American society, makes you a human being. Are you a male? Subtract 10 points. You're less likely to be heard because you're a male. Are you a female? You need to add 10 points. Why is that? Because you're a female. You're more likely to be heard. Now, if you're fat, you drop 10 points because you're not physically attractive enough for people to give a shit about. If you're curvy in all the right places, you need to add 10 points. You're more of a person. You got blonde hair and blue eyes, add 10 points. You have any other color of hair or eyes? Other than green, of course. Green is an exotic color. But any other color of hair or eye color, yeah, you're not as desirable. But you don't lose any points. You don't lose any points for being a brunette. You don't lose any points for having a brown eye. You just don't get any extras. Believe it or not, most of American society cares more about black people than about the disabled. Many of the people I know, they care more about black people than they care about their own family. I prefer to believe that we're all family. but not in an incestuous kind of way. I mean, we all come from the same place. We come from the same origins. We're all human beings. Whether you want to pretend in Allah or Jesus or Yahweh or any of the rest of these, Thor, or it don't matter to me. I don't care. You're supposed to have freedom of religion. Victimizing somebody over their religious beliefs is wrong, but did people victimize me over my religious beliefs? Yes, they also victimized me over religious beliefs that they wanted to project onto me. People who were threatening to cut off my balls and wanting to cut my throat, and their excuse is that I'm a Satan worshiper. Why the fuck would I worship Satan? I don't worship God. Why the fuck would I believe in Satan? I don't even believe in God. A lot of people say, well, don't judge God based on what these Christians did. Do you know these Christians? Christians like my mother. Christians like Todd Rust. Do you know these Christians? Oh, sure, they're swell people, especially public image. And that's what they care about. My mom, when my stepdad Scott was a fucking sucker again, my mom, she had an addiction to Stadol, and she pretended like she had a headache one night. And Janet Roberts was like, this is where Scott had gone to live after Mom kicked him out. Janet Roberts was like, don't do it. I'll give her a ride. I'll give her a ride. I will put my shoes on and I will give her a ride right now. You don't need that kind of problem, Scott. And Janet Roberts is a fucking, before she died, she was a nutty old bat. But you know what? When she's telling Scott that she'll do it, my mom wasn't having it. Only Scott could give her a ride. Only Scott understood well enough. My mom wanted to get Scott alone so that she could manipulate him. And sure enough, she did. And Scott's dumbass went back. That's the reason that I try to meet people in public. A one-on-one conversation. Somewhere that's public. Somewhere where we are seen. But also, people need to be close enough. Like when you talk to the police, people do need to be close enough to hear what you're saying and what they're saying. And there's a lot of upper middle class white kids that'll look at that and make any excuse for the cops. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you children? Oh yeah, you don't know shit about the world you fucking live in. You know mommy and daddy's house. Did I ever tell you that I have no respect for cowards? Did I tell you I'll fight for their rights anyway? Oh yeah. I don't have to tell you that because I fucking am. These aren't just my rights I'm fighting for. They're also Megan Misigatis' rights. They're also Marcia Estrada's rights. They're also, of course, all of these children's rights, or rather they should be. But are these parents really going to fight for their kids? Is Amy Spencer going to fight for her kids? No, she showed her kids she didn't love them. That's literally what she showed them. Amy Spencer, a.k.a. Amy Kalina Kingery, chose her drugs over her kids. Just like my mom did. No, I don't respect that. Yeah, I got a soft spot for addicts. I grew up with addicts. No, I didn't grow up with my mom. I didn't find out that she was a fucking drug addict until I was 9. I mean, they didn't actually tell me that she was in fucking court-appointed drug court. You're a kid. They're fucking not wanting to tell you that stuff, so they're leaving you in the dark. You gotta make decisions based on the shit that they're telling you. They're not telling you the truth. And then, of course, some of the foster homes are nice. Some of them are great, but you're only there for 2 weeks. You get a great foster home. There was one foster home. I remember the foster family, the guy who lived there. He had a IROC Z. Most of you probably don't know what that is because it's not a modern rice burner from the Fast and the Furious movies, but an IROC Z used to be, it's basically still a rice burner. It's a sports car. It's an American sports car, but it's still a sports car. And of course, I got an IROC Z jacket, and it was really cool. It was artificial leather. It was nice. And I got an ALF. If you don't know what that is, that's an alien life form. And that's going to sound crazy to you if you weren't alive in the 90s to watch the show. ALF, ALF, was about an alien who likes to eat kittens. He likes to eat kitty cats. And it was kind of a family show, family sitcom. Kind of like, well, if you took Mork and Mindy, but Mork was a friggin' sock that fits on your hand. There's a lot of stuff that if you don't understand the reference, yeah, I get that it sounds crazy, but you know what? That just is completely goddamn asinine for you to believe that they must be crazy because you don't understand. Maybe if there's a word that they use that you don't understand, you might look it up and think about it. Yes, I talk about an alien life form as if it were real. No, not as if it were real. It was really on TV. That's how I talk about it. Yes, Alf was on TV. No, I was not friends with Alf. I didn't go talking and having conversations. We didn't have kitty cuisine, but I was given an Alf doll for my birthday with that IROC Z jacket. And they were really nice. And the next foster home sucked. Everybody wants to pass the buck. It's always someone else's fault. It's always someone else's responsibility. It's not Dual County Sheriff's Department's fault. And you get to hear these fucking asshats tonight. Oh, they're not equipped to deal with it. Oh, Center for Living, Center for Living, Center for Living. No. I need an actual caseworker. Center for Living ain't actual caseworkers. These are as unprofessional as you are, Hood River fucking pork. Bacon! Now, then, of course, what are the chances that Sarah Bacon, after, well, being called out because of the stuff that she keeps saying to me, you know what? Your story has changed a few times, and that story is entirely plausible. You know, yeah. The fact that you've had to move, well, your house looks different, so yeah, I can believe you moved. The thing is that to this day, you know, she says those things to me in the conversations with us. And I listen to her drunk talking. It should have occurred to me. I mean, when I knew that she was into the true crime stuff and she had sent me a friend request over the true crime stuff like everybody else, nobody actually gave a shit what happened to me. And there was a lot of people who offered to help right at the very beginning, and of course I spoke up about it, and the first thing that happened, my predators go at these people's fucking Facebook accounts, and then they're mad at me. I'm like, what did you fucking expect? I told you that this shit was happening to other people, and you didn't fucking believe me. You didn't want to fucking come forward. You didn't care. You had no vested fucking interest. You had a vested interest in looking the other way and hoping it goes away for you. That don't mean it's going to go away for me. So these people want to pretend like, Well, nobody would ever come after me, but that people might come after them. So, of course, I must be a bad guy because I'm trying to make them targets. No, these people made themselves targets already. I'm just letting them know that they need to come forward and tell the truth. Candace Bonderon, fucking pissed that the truth is out there. Mandy Hughes, she's pissed that the truth is out there. Did these people help me get it into court? No. So did they get to complain about me, put it on YouTube? Sure, complain all you fucking want. It's not coming down. If that shit's true, you should have fucking made a police report. You should have made an effort. You should have documented it. I want to see the proof of this shit that you say. Oh, you want to pull out one or two little situations that I admitted to. The only evidence that you have is me telling the truth, asshole. What was I asking you for the whole time? The truth. Well, I admit to the things that I did. I've already done so live on YouTube, live on Facebook. Already did so. You didn't want to look. You didn't have time. You wanted to talk about yourself. You wanted to bitch at me about chemo brain. I can't fucking fix that. I can't fix what the fuck is wrong with you. I can't. I don't have the ability to fucking fix your stupid.